I used to be like, how do people create these perfect Instagram feeds? I want one as well. But no matter what filters I put onto my pictures or what pretty quotes I reposted, I simply didn't seem to get that perfect Instagram aesthetic. Fast forward to today, I have a pretty consistent Instagram feed and something what I'd like to call a pretty branding. Want to know how you can do the same? Well, then keep on watching because I'm about to spill the tea on my step-by-step plan to create that perfect Instagram feed, your branding, and I'm gonna be also sharing some really useful hacks. Oh, and stay until the end because I actually have some bloopers lined up for you. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Laura, an Instagram and marketing expert, and I help service-based businesses build and scale their business with the power of Instagram. So if that's you, don't forget to hit subscribe, but also hit the bell so you can stay tuned for more content. So to create your Instagram aesthetic and sort of that perfect branding, you're gonna have to obviously pick some brand colors. Having a strong branding is really important. It's basically what will set you apart and will make people remember you but also recognize you. So to create a cohesive Instagram feed, we will pick a few colors, and the colors that you're gonna pick will actually depend on two things. First of all, what you're attracted to, what are colors that you like, but second of all, also what that color makes the other person feel, because there's actually quite some psychology behind colors. Okay, let's have a look. For example, red stands for excitement, strength, love, energy. Blue is often linked to trust, peace, loyalty, and competence, and purple, royalty, luxury, spirituality, and ambition. Honestly, you can read a lot about color psychology if you want to geek out on that. I know I geeked out on it a bit when I was picking my first brand colors, but at some point you're just gonna have to pick 2-3 colors and stick with it. Do not overthink it either. So once you pick those 2-3 main brand colors, we're gonna build a color palette around it. Okay, here's where the first hack comes in. There's a really cool tool called Colors, like colors, and basically on there you can build a color palette. I'm quickly gonna show you how it works. Okay, so this is Colors. Basically it's a generator for color schemes. So if you click on start generating, you can also even explore trending palettes, which is quite cool. But from here you can basically just have any color palette by clicking on your spacebar. So every time I click on a spacebar, it will generate a new color palette. So let's say, I don't know, I like this color palette and I really love these two colors, and you can lock them, but the rest is not really convincing me. Then based on those two that are locked, it will keep generating new colors. So that's how it works. And in here, obviously, you can then copy the color values. You can drag drop them, few different shades. So let's say you want a lighter color and so forth. You can basically play around with this. It's a really helpful tool. Then you can export and save it, even adjust the palette based on even hues and all of that. Anyway, great tool to play around with. Would definitely recommend you to have a look at this. Okay, so once that you have these brand colors, make sure to also save them in whatever design tool you use. So save them in Photoshop. If you use Canva, there's even this really cool brand kit where you can save the brand colors as well. So you really are sure that you're always using the same exact colors for your branding. Now it's time to make your pictures on brands. So my best tip here is to actually simply use presets that are very in line with your branding. You can either buy presets online or you can actually create your own presets. It's not that hard. You can do it with an app like Adobe Lightroom, and yes, Lightroom is free. If you're completely new to Lightroom, I'm actually gonna show you quickly a few hacks on there, things that probably will blow your mind and that will make it so much easier to make your pictures on brand. Basically, get the app Lightroom. It's this app. When you obviously open a picture that you want to edit. I have an old picture in here. As you can see, it has some sky. My brand colors are very blue, sort of turquoise blue. So this blue is not really on brand for me. So what I'm about to do here is make this picture on brand by creating my own preset. So all the pictures that are with similar lighting, I can just copy paste that preset onto there. So how I edit, usually I do a bit of auto light, but where the magic happens is under the color tab. You click on mix, and in here you can see all the sort of main colors appearing, the color mix, and this is really where the magic happens, because here you can pick a color and kind of change how that color looks. So see where I'm going? In my case, blue needs to be a bit more light blue, turquoise blue. So I take the blue color, and see how I can change the blue color? I can literally make a pink sky if I want to, but I'm gonna make the blue more on brand by bringing the hue to the left in my case. and you can still play around with the luminance to make it darker, lighter. I'm gonna make it a bit lighter. Something I don't really have yellow in my picture. I have more of a vintage vibe, so I will bring the yellow to the left, saturation down, so it immediately gives that more vintage vibe. And another really cool hack when you're editing pictures, especially for those of you that want to look maybe a bit more tan or have a bit more color, you can actually play with the saturation of the orange. And yeah, in my case, it gives me a bit more of a tanned skin. So there you go. This is, for example, how I would edit this picture to make it more on brand. So before and after. Before, you can, by holding the screen, you can see the before. And then after, a lot more on brand, a lot more of the blue colors and the warmer colors. I have a lot of nudes as well, so yeah, it works really well. Now, if you're completely new to editing on Lightroom and you're not sure what kind of colors you want to play around with and you want to create your own presets, I actually have another hack. So let's go to Pinterest. Yes, Pinterest. In Pinterest, you're gonna type in Lightroom free edits or free presets, both work. But basically what you're gonna do then is look at a preset that you like, and they give the exact sort of editing of that exact picture in there. So you can play around and be like, oh, I really like this. Okay, I'm gonna take this exact edit, for example, the film look preset, and then you see what you have to do for exposure, contrast, highlights, the color mix, and so forth. And these are obviously all things that you can have within Lightroom: lights, contrast, all of that, color mix, and so forth. So yeah, really, really cool hack, definitely worth playing around with. Okay, another pro tip that I want to add when it comes to creating on-brand pictures is to actually simply sort of shoot your brand colors or even just wear them. I'm actually wearing blue today, so I'm on brand, sort of. Well, it's not the exact blue, but anyway, it's really, the aim is here that you really want to make sure that you keep an eye out for your brand colors. So for example, I've been buying a lot of blue stuff. My office is painted blue. You don't see it because this is a white wall, but the wall behind you guys is blue. And when I'm, for example, traveling, I will, for example, take a lot of pictures with the sky or the sea, so I can make that on brand blue as well. So a little hack here is to just keep an eye out and think of your brand colors. If you have a lot of green, then obviously you might want to go a bit more towards nature or wear more green, so your pictures will also blend in very nicely with the rest of the designs in your feed. Okay, now that we have your brand colors, we know how to create those posts and pictures that will be on brand, it's time to kind of bring it all together into that really nice aesthetic Instagram grid. There's so many Instagram grids that you can choose from. Here are some of my favorites. So you, for example, you have the checkerboard, you have the line fades, double alternate, 4 repeats, picture perfect, or even the crossfade. Now, when picking your feed, you might also really want to think about what makes sense also for you. So for example, there's feeds like the crossfade or the line fade that are a bit harder to keep up because you might have to upload, let's say, 3 pictures at once to really keep that nice design, or you don't have as much room to be spontaneous or to really play around with it. So obviously pick a feed that is easy to maintain for you as well, depending on how well you're at planning and how consistent you are on Instagram. But yes, so once you pick that grid, you're gonna have to indeed start planning a bit more to really have that perfect grid. You could use apps like, for example, Preview to really help you out here. Preview is basically an app where you see your Instagram grid, you can upload the new picture that you're thinking of uploading, so it's not yet uploaded to Instagram, and then you can preview what that looks like on your feed. If you actually also need help with the scheduling, the planning, the automating and batching of your Instagram content, then have a look at this video above. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and you're ready to rock that Instagram aesthetic. I'm sending you lots of good vibes and enjoy the bloopers. For those who didn't believe me, this is my blue wall. Woo! I actually have a great video for you. Click on, is it here or there? I never know.